Hey, this is Rikki ROXX, and you are listening to ROXX100.com.
The Big Rock.
The Big Rock. Keeping the music alive.
Bon Jovi. Lenny Kravitz.
Hey, all you rockers. This is Johnny J, your host for The Big Rock. Catch me right here on ROXX 100 as we are keeping the music alive, rocking the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The Big Rock on ROXX 100.
Rock. The Big Rock. The Big Rock.
Everything that rocks.
Hey folks, head on down to Earl's Meat Shack. Featuring the area's finest selection of new and used meat sticks. We've got everything. Buffalo patty jerky, we've got dick sticks, salami slices, and we even have those pterodactyl flavored everything. If you hit a raccoon, porcupine, or squirrel, we'll lug it in. We'll turn that late night tragedy into a tasty snack. That thump with your fender never tasted so damn good. We're located in the parking lot of the Dixieland Dirt Mall, just off of Jabroni Street on Telegraph. Head on down. That's Earl's Meat Shack.
Hey kids, would you like to be a rock god the likes of David Lee Roth in his heyday? Then you need to get the
RIKKI ROXX Rock God Starter Kit.
Each kit comes complete with black nail polish, eyeliner, sparkly scarf, an actual chick magnet, a velvet jacket to make all the girls go wild, and an over-the-hat skull cap with bandana accessory. Act Now will also include a handy booklet showing you all the best places to wear your sunglasses at night. Regularly a $29.95 value, now yours free when you take advantage of this fabulous offer. But don't act just yet. We'll also throw in a wall poster chart diagramming all the best rock faces to enchant your audience, proven to wet the ladies' panties in mere seconds. For all you newbies, this great kit also includes a CD demonstrating how to push your voice for the radio, taught by RIKKI ROXX himself. So quit being a big puss and man up rock style with the
RIKKI ROXX Rock God Starter Kit.
Now yours for just $29.95 plus $99.95 shipping and handling. Call now. 1-800-ROCK-GOD. That's 1-800-ROCKGOD. Now. Operators and tattooed hookers are standing by to take your order.
Feel your best before making an arrest. What you gonna pick? Cloud pockets when you don't want something salady. Avoid police brutality. What you gonna pick? Cloud pockets.
Cloud pockets filled with juicy jelly, mouth-watering maple and bacon, and creamy custard on a crispy donut.
When you want an easy meal while you're busting that your deal. What you gonna pick? Cloud pockets.
The cop meal in a pocket.
What you gonna pick? Cloud pockets.
Did you wake up this morning with a nasty rash and nothing but regret? Did you go home with a sweaty bass player last night? Did you wake up wanting to chew your own arm off because some skank's laying on it? Are you feeling a burning, itching sensation in your crotchal region? Do you feel like you need to scratch your ass with tree bark? Are you walking around like you were banged with a Scud missile? Did you meet someone at the bar you thought would actually call you back? Idiot! Then you need Skankosporin. It'll cool that burning sensation before you do the walk of shame to the cab. That's Skankosporin Itch Paste.
Available at In-N-Out Party Stores, Bottles and Stuff, 8 Mile Liquor, and Cunningham Drugs.
following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. It's Ricky Rocks, coming out of the box. Bitches come in flocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Ricky Rock Show, spreading like the pox. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks, yeah. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks, yeah. Ricky rocks up in your grill, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. All right, here we are.
So enthusiastic.
I know.
All right, we're fucking here. We're here to fuck shit up.
Oh yeah, with you. You're our one listener so far. I don't know if maybe Facebook is now blocking my promotions and all those groups and everything. Huh.
You might be flagged as spam.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Spammy rocks.
Oh man, that would of course, Facebook, I got no notifications, so I don't know if I did anything wrong.
Well, what's weird is whenever I would share shit about Rocks 100, like from the page, like no one would see it. And then if I made a post not tagging it, like people would.
Facebook is pissed. They're salty.
Yeah.
They're salty at us.
They just hate that we're winning. They're trying to piss in our Cheerios.
I don't know about that.
We're up to 2.
Oh no!
Unless that was you.
No, that wasn't me. Who's number 2? Who's number 2? Watch it drops back down to 1. So yeah, here
They're
we
like,
are.
Fuck this shit.
I know. Episode number 107 of the Ricky Rock Show, right here on Rocks100.com and exclusively on YouTube Live. So it's still holding on at 2. We're at, what is that, 31 subscribers?
Killing the game.
God damn. This is so horrible. So yeah, episode number 107 of the Ricky Rock Show. Got a lot to talk about. We have our Pump It or Dump It Band of the Week. We're going back to Vancouver this week, so super cool. We have our Beer of the Week. I made Nikki go out and buy it again. I'm like, I just want to.
You're such a great husband.
Well, it's like, I'm like.
She's like ready to pop, too.
I know, and she's buying beer. So I'm like, man, I just want to, make it awkward for that guy who's at the liquor store, and, so you want to buy beer, huh? You're obviously pregnant.
Pack of cigarettes while you're at it.
So she went out, because I didn't want to fucking do shit today. Dude, it's been the most stressful motherfucking week of my goddamn life. And we'll get into all that and more. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking to JAY R SLEAZE. Awesome name. From the Brisbane, Australia band SNAKE BITE WHISKY. They were one of our Pump It or Dump It Band of the Week probably about a month ago. And we do have our Nuts and Bolts and Harsh Truths. That's back this week. That's one thing that I added from my list that I actually got going on. We're up to 5 now. Make some noise in the chat if you're hanging out in there over here on Facebook. So we're going to get right into it.
You mean YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, YouTube, not Facebook. No, not Facebook. Don't go there. So we're going to get into our Nuts and Bolts and Harsh Truths right now. This is the segment of the show where we give advice. You ask us a question, we answer it to the best of our ability. And this week, we have a question from Nick out of Detroit, Michigan. He says, hey, I've heard you guys talk about local bands getting paid. In your ideal world, I love the laugh.
Keep going.
In your ideal world, how would independent bands get paid? Cut of the door, cut of the bar, mix of the two, guarantees? If so, what kind of guarantees? Whatever method, what would it take to get the independent music scene to that point? Thanks. That's from Nick out of Detroit.
Shit, man, you're trying to have me unload a whole bunch of different scenarios with that question. I mean, realistically, like when you start out, you're probably going to be getting a door cut, and then providing your band proves their worth and starts bringing more people, certain arrangements could be made. But I don't know. In all the years I played around here, I don't think I ever really got like a legit guarantee.
Right.
The ones I did, we always end up getting stiffed on anyways. the guarantee stuff is more for like traveling bands, or cover bands.
Okay, so you're an independent band, you know, in your ideal world, you know, say you're just a run-of-the-mill independent band playing your, you know, your 4 or 5 band lineups, 45-minute set. How do you think promoters or venues should go about coming up with that money? You know, because I've seen people try the ticket sale things for all local shows to kind of, you know, I guess guarantee that money. It never really worked out.
Some of the shit I did worked for a brief bit where like half of every ticket the band got to keep.
Yeah.
But like some of the shows, it was like I was only charging like $5 for the ticket to make it enticing.
Yeah.
And, you know, a couple of shows it worked.
They'll sell 10 tickets and be like, we only made $25. What the fuck?
But it's like if you did a door split, it would have been the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? So.
Well, yeah, but you know, during the door split, there's a lot less effort that has to be put into it. All it is a bunch of Facebook posts. You don't have to. You're not mailing tickets out and be like, "Hey, buy tickets for my band." Right. You know, do you think independent bands should get guarantees? You know, your local independent band. Do you think it should be a thing? Because let's look at the cover band circuit. They get guarantees. They ain't running door cuts. Like if you go see a tribute band or not tribute band, but like a cover band, you know, at your local bar, you know, Big Bob and the Big Boppers, you know, playing the best classic rock of the 1970s. You know, you're not paying a door cover. You know, you pretty much just come in. It's a bar and it's a band there for dancing, background
music.
music.
Like listening to the fucking radio while you're eating.
Kind of one of those things, but with a live band, they get a guarantee.
Yeah.
You know, the bar is going to pay them X amount of dollars, and that money comes from the bar, you know, through alcohol sales, food sales.
They'll have an allotted budget to spend.
Yeah. So do you think that should be a thing that is applied to, you know, original bands?
It's fucking impossible. I mean, for the most part. So like, okay, so let's look at this situation. So like where cover bands typically play, they have food, right? Most of these venues typically don't necessarily have food. Right. So you're not going to have a built-in crowd just coming in there to eat. So the one thing that sucks is when you are in a band and you're not getting a guarantee, you do bring a decent amount of people and they spend a fucking ton at the bar and the bar just makes a ton of money off of the drinks and then the bands make fucking dick. That's like the one thing that really sucks. But that model for a guarantee for a local independent band, unless that band's gonna bring 200 fucking people, but at that point, if I was in the band, I would just be like, fuck you, I'll sell tickets on my own, you know?
Do you think a thing could be like, you know, your independent venue, you know, that's predominantly selling alcohol, you know, the venue hits you up, hey, our budget for this show is $400. If you want to be a part of it, we're going to try to find 3 or 4 other bands.
Right.
And, you know, you're going to be at the prime spot. We'll give you a smidge more than the band opening, you know, kind of negotiating it that way. Do you think that's something that, you know, would work?
It does work. There's venues out of state that I've booked like tons of times where they have a set budget for Fridays and Saturday nights.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, you know, are you guys free this date? And they're like, how much do you want? They'd be like, okay, this is how much we have to spend on the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Like they basically would be like, okay, band A gets $50, band B gets 100, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those are the real numbers, but they would basically be like, yeah, you guys will get this, and if like the show's packed, like we'll even give you like free drinks and this and that.
Right.
And dude, most of the time those shows fucking kick ass.
So is that more?
I think personally the venues around here are too cheap to pull that.
I was going to ask, you know, that method, you know, is that an outlier, or is, because you've done a lot of booking and all this, you know, around the country, you know, is that model kind of an outlier, or is it more normal than people would think?
It seemed like an outlier to me, but when you see it in a little town in Ohio and then you go play a big fucking town down in Florida and they have the same business model for the show, it leads credence that it's not as uncommon as I would have thought.
So why do you think, you know, there's places like Detroit or wherever else you've booked where it's like, hey, door cut, that's all we're doing? You know, why do you think that is? And do you think there's a way where we can kind of well, I say we in a weird sense, but that the independent music scene where it's like door cuts, that, you know, they can hopefully sway the venues into working it with a budget.
I think it's lazy, outdated boomer mentality. And I'm not saying it's old people. I'm saying it's the mentality of people not willing to change their business model. This isn't the 90s where, like, people go out on Wednesday nights to go see a fucking show till 2 a.m.
Right.
You know, people want shit now. They'll come for band 1, 2, or 3. They probably won't stay for the whole fucking show. I mean, there's a variety of reasons why people don't want to go out.
So do you see it like place, you know, you say Detroit, lazy, all this. You think there's going to come a time where maybe the hand gets forced and they have to change that model, or are they just going to stick with this until they die?
I think they'd rather just go out of fucking business and then blame the bands for not busting their asses enough, because that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, how many shows have you personally played or booked where the venue just could give a fuck less about the show?
You're talking to me. No venue gives a fuck about my bands.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, I remember we played a show once and we mailed them a bunch of flyers.
Yeah.
Like, we were paying, like, local area radio stations and this, and that. And then, you know, the day of the show, like, we pull up and I'm like, oh, there's not even any flyers in the windows or anything.
Yeah.
And, like, the promoter's like, oh, hey, stoked to have you guys. And I'm like, hey, you know, where are those flyers at? So what flyers? So we end up loading in, and he's like, oh, yeah, put everything by that walk-in cooler back there. Sure as shit, I see a fucking box, and it's got my name right on the fucking top. And I opened it, and I was like, hey, you mean these flyers? He's like, oh, where'd you find that? I'm like, sitting right to where you told us to load in our gear.
Jeez. So you think a lot of this is, it sucks to say it, but, you know, a lot of venue owners are kind of just lazy and maybe overwhelmed with the sheer amount of shows. You know, do you think that could be a thing? That no?
After knowing Kevin, he kind of showed the hand of all the venue owners.
Yeah.
When they make it sound like it's so bad.
Yeah.
It ain't really all that bad. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not saying these.
Don't go into that. Like, how not that bad.
So, for instance, like shows where we're complete bombs and duds.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking where I lost personally like $200 or $300 on guaranteeing these bands.
Mm-hmm.
I still made like $300 or $400 at the bar tonight. Oh.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Me, the 4 other people that showed up, and then all the bands that played made you money.
Yeah.
We didn't, you know, more or less. And I'm not saying that's always the case, but for a place like that to be able to pull that, I could see other venues
kind of along the same thing.
Well, especially if they have fucking food.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have people come in.
Right.
Like the Detroit pub, you know, that you were able to get some of that crossover there.
Yeah.
But like they found a way to kind of pad their wallet a little bit.
So places like that, you know, granted that place ain't around anymore, but, you know, places that serve food, and, you know, if there's 5 people at the show and, you know, there's you know, like a crowd watching the football game and all that, that would be a venue that would be able to be like, hey, we have a budget.
Right.
You know?
More likely, yeah. And like I said, I'm not trying to say like owners don't have it hard, because it's like, okay, I personally know like certain venues I've worked with, they're like, hey, just to open the doors, have sound, you know, security, like whatever amount.
Right.
It costs me this amount of money. I get that.
Right.
But once again, I still, from things I've heard over the years, like they have a lot of room to not lose their ass.
Right.
Whereas like you and I have like, oh, well, Tuesday night show, I'm definitely losing my ass on this one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So. See, I'm in the wrong game. I have to own a bar, so
you got to be rich.
So
that's how rich people always win. Come on,
so
you know that.
So I can be the ones raping the bands and making the money, rather than being the raped.
Oh my god. You don't want to be the rapey.
Yeah, I don't want to be the rapey. That would sound bad if I finished that off. I don't want to be the rapey. I want to be the raper. No. So.
Oh man.
It's, you know, it's one of those questions that I get asked all the time as a promoter. How can bands get paid more? I'm like, it's literally the bar owners that can dictate this whole entire thing. Right now, the promoters are shoveling in all the cost, and the only income we get is from the door or our own pockets. Whereas, you know, the venue, you know, if you get a couple Rikki Roxx's in there, you're making a couple $100 on drinks.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, you know, and the promoter's paying the sound guy, so that guy's not getting paid by the bar.
Yep.
You know, like at the New Dodge, I pay the sound guy. He does the thing. A little money's worth, but you know, so I take that on, and you know, the bar, you know, luckily Louis, you know, at the New Dodge helps me out. If it's a bunk show, it'd be like, here's an extra $40 kind of thing. But it's like, I looked at the tip jar. I saw how much dollars were in there and how much they're charging for tall boys and all this, and
right.
you know, so it's like, you think it's gonna take like that one bar owner that kind of breaks the mold and does things different to maybe change the game in places where it's door cuts?
I mean, I don't know.
If you have that bar, you know, when I used to book at the Detroit pub, they, you know, depending on the show or the big headliner, they'd be like, ooh, this is a great band. I'm going to give you like a $400 budget for this show to play with. And if it's just a bunch of like crap bands, it'd be like, give you like $100, you know, kind of thing. You know, is it going to take that one bar owner that kind of bucks everything, changes the game, and if it succeeds, you know, and it does really well, you think that could be a catalyst for places like, you know, Detroit or other places that are predominantly door cut places to kind of change it up?
I mean, in a vacuum, that definitely sounds like it could work. There's one other thing that, you know, I've seen work. I haven't seen it happen a whole ton, but just doing... Okay, so venues always want to bitch, like the promoter doesn't do a good enough job, the bands don't do a good enough job. You should be thankful because we're providing a stage, etc.
Yeah.
At the same time, that I find that logic very fucked up. Like, why would that venue not want to have their own pole?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, part of that, and for me, is like, okay, I'd rather take on a show where they just said, it's a free show for everybody to get into, but we're really going to push food and drink specials.
Yeah.
Because that's, you know, they make a ton of money on fucking drinks.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to make more on that than fucking door.
The profit margin's ridiculous.
Okay, you charge a $5 cover. Why not give everybody a fucking tall boy for like $2.50 instead of $5?
Right.
Like, that's the kind of shit right there.
Right.
So, like, realistically, if you had a show and there was 10 people there, but you got paid $150, would you rather have that or have a show where you made like $25, but there was like 50, 60 people there?
Right.
Which one would you prefer?
I'd probably the money.
I personally,
you know, you take the people.
I personally would take the show with more people because
Yeah.
you stand to make more money on merch.
Yeah.
More merch is, you know, your markup there is better.
And that's, you know, the argument that I've heard from a lot of bar owners. If you don't like what you're getting paid at the door, either one, be better, or two, start investing in your merch and have that as your income, you know, rather than depending on the venue to pay you.
But this is the thing. You can invest all the money you want into your merch. If the venue brings no people, what favors are they doing you?
They're giving you the room. They're blessing you with their existence.
But the problem with that logic is if they don't have their own fucking pull, they're not going to make it anyways. They shouldn't be reliant 100% on the band or bands and the promoter. It should be a two-way street.
Right.
Like, we both know venues where, like, the venue itself would have zero pull unless there was
There'd be
bands.
0 people there if there was no bands.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, you think that's a good way to run your business?
Right. So in your idealized world, you know, it would be, you know, kind of like the venues working in tandem with the promoters and the bands to, you know, pump everything up and make sure everybody's getting paid and everybody's happy. And, you know, you don't have fucking yuckos like me slamming venues and talking all this shit. You know, it would be, you know, like I guess like a 3-way street kind of thing.
And on top of that, so let's look at it this way. So you own a restaurant / venue, whatever.
Yeah.
Your margin for food especially food, is ultra cheap, right?
Yeah.
So say you had a band that was on tour that was asking like $150.
Yeah.
Instead, you were like, hey, I'll give you guys like $50 worth of food and like $100 worth of drinks.
Yeah.
Instead of $150 cash.
Okay, so to put that out there to people, okay, so you said like $50 worth of food. That will probably cost them about $15-20, and your $100 worth of alcohol would probably cost about $20-30.
So instead
you're
of paying
looking at
$150 cash, you're basically giving $30 worth of food and drinks.
Yeah, which is pretty much the equivalent of like 5 people paying to come in the door.
Right.
You know, or a couple people, one person drinking all night.
Rikki ROXX.
Pretty much, you know, like a let's say at the high end it costs them $60. You know, if they're giving you like
Top
nice,
shelf.
nice shit,
steaks and shit.
you know, that's literally one person's bar tab, and you're pretty much taking care of that whole band for that.
Yeah, so look at it that way. Like bands that are on the road, like if you offer them like food, beverages, it doesn't always have to be alcohol, obviously, but like even like cases of water, like shit like that. Those are things that will keep them satisfied physically.
Yeah.
The money always helps, but if there's no room to find like a middle ground, like the band's like, hey, we want 150, and the venue's like, well, the best I can do is 50. Well, how about you give us 50 and then like $50 bar tab? Like, find that middle ground, because then, I mean, like I said, for them, that $50 worth of food is not costing them $50.
I mean, everybody out there who's listening, I mean, just think about when you go to a club or something like that. Even if you're not drinking, you're just getting bottles of water. You know, you're paying $2 or $3 for a bottle of water. We've all been to Meijer or whatever grocery store. You can get a 32 pack of water for $5. So for every 2 bottles of water they sell, they can buy 30 bottles of water with it.
Yep.
As Kevin's going to grab another beer. You know, so for the people out there, you know, that are like me, that you maybe go to the liquor store and you buy, you know, that $50 half gallon of Jack Daniels. Does it cost the venue $50? No. The way it works is, you know, Kevin, you probably know this as well. Bars and venues can't go to, at least in Michigan anyway, you can't, if you're running a venue, you can't go to the liquor store and restock yourselves. You know, it's illegal to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to go through a wholesale distributors and all this. There's special stores that you got to get your stuff from, which is, and it's marginally less.
That's why they have the lowest prices in Michigan.
You know, that's, you know, when you go out there and you buy that half gallon of Jack Daniels, it costs you $50. It might cost a venue or a bar $35, $40 for that. You know, that's the equivalent of maybe 10 shots out of that, you know. So the profit margins on liquor are probably closer to 150-200%.
Oh, I believe it. I mean,
and food, it's like we've all went to Costco and bought like 60 chicken breasts for $10 or however much it costs. They'll take one of those chicken breasts, flip it around, and throw some cheese and crap on it and charge you $7 for it. You know what I'm saying? So
flip it around, throw some cheese. It's like Missy Elliott cooking in the kitchen. Flip it around and throw some cheese on it.
You know, so there's a lot of money. You know, I've seen, you know, I've done shows, you know, at Simon's, because Kevin's the only guy that'll be like, yo, he'll rub it in how much money he made.
That's what I'm saying.
He
like,
will rub it in.
It was a dud night, and I was like, fuck, man, this hurt my wallet. And he was like, I made money tonight.
Also, it's like, you know, I do shows there, you know, bangers, like really big ones where, you know, the bars are, you know, everybody's drinking. They have like 3 bartenders back there just running around. Yep. And then I'll just, you know, kind of half joke, be like, so how much money did you make? Here's my book, bro. I made $7,000 off your show today.
Wow.
You know, off his griddle food and his limited selection of alcohol.
Right.
You know, he's like, I made $7,000 off you today. I'm like, can I get a little piece of it? He's like, no, fuck you. You made your money off the door. I'm like, bro.
What money?
Bro.
I had to pay all the bands.
I've had to pay all that out. You can't give me a little cut of this, because it's like, without me, these people wouldn't be here.
Right.
You know, and that's the weird thing.
I think part of it is having that conversation, but it's a like uncomfortable one.
Well, the you know, as a promoter, it's, I don't want to say it this way, but it kind of is. It's a lack of respect for promoters.
Well, I fully believe that too.
You know, it sucks, but, you know, venue owners will kind of be like, well, they want to do the show here. They're picking here, to do their extravagant, whatever the hell it is. It's kind of like a disrespect and kind of like an arrogance, I guess.
Right.
And it's kind of just, I guess that's just kind of how it happens.
This is the best way I can like classify it for people that don't understand how it works. So like, take like your big corporations, right? Think of them as the venue.
Yeah.
And then all of us, like the bands and shit.
All getting paid minimum wage.
Yeah. We get no days off.
Yeah.
And we want an inch, and they think we're taking a mile. That's basically the synopsis of it.
So what that means is us promoters have to start a fucking union. Ooh.
Good luck.
Ooh. Unionize. You want us to do shows, you gotta start shelling out, homie. We want cost of living allowances.
Oh, man, that'd be great.
Ooh, fuck. I don't think a lot of promoters I don't think it's gonna.
I doubt that would happen. But like,
I wouldn't be able to
I
be the
think
guy.
there's easily a way to make it more fair. And I'm not trying to say the venue shouldn't make money, but like we both can look at some venues that have been around for ages.
Yeah.
That book horrible fucking shows.
Yeah.
Yet they're still in fucking business. They upgrade things from time to time. Like, it doesn't appear that they're hurting because
dude, every time I come here, there's only 10 people, but for some reason they just got like a $10,000 mixing board.
Now, if it's a front for other nefarious shit, who knows? But
oh, jeez. So hopefully to Nick in Detroit, that kind of answered your question and gave, I guess, a little background on.
That's got to be the longest nuts and bolts we've ever done.
Fucking half hour. And the chat is going fucking wild. Look at this crap. I got to scroll. Start at the top. Storm Theory. We got to talk about that. The show. Not that. The show. Sophia Marie, she says, sup, Casting Shadows, A1 band. She wanted to come out and support Fallen Stronger, but she had a friend pass away, so she was doing that. Excuse me. Steve Engel from Mississauga, Ontario. He's like, hey, listening from the back deck, enjoying the weather. I don't know how you're enjoying this horrible weather. It's too fucking hot and humid. It's been humid here for like a week. I'm over it. My joints are dying.
It's dissipated a little bit.
Very cool. Rob Surgott, he's popping in. Chris Tucker. Steve, I can't play the Chris song. I get a copyright strike for that. It's gone. Chris, you got your wish.
We're trying to make money here.
Steve Dave, he's there. Sup, guys? Sup, everyone? Larry Smith from Fallen Stronger checking in. Rose Weeks, is it frozen for anyone else? Oh, is that a thing? Did it freeze?
The feed.
Did the freeze feed?
Apparently, everyone else said it's working normally, or it did for a minute.
Okay. Oh, it's back. Weird things, everybody. There it is. Okay, because I'm like, fuck, come on, YouTube. You're the OG of this streaming thing.
Right.
Sophia says, people equal more exposure to. That is a very good point. Rob Surgott, but the diehards aren't going to go buy merch all the time, as we have 4 shirts and a hat already, but that venue is still getting drinks. Very true.
No, and that's very true.
Very true.
Like I said, there's a lot of facets to it. It's not super cut and dry, but those are just things I've witnessed over the years.
Right.
It seems like there's a positive correlation to the fuckery with X, Y, and Z. Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it.
Pretty much we're all just going to keep getting fucked, guys.
Yep.
Settle in and get ready. Just bend over and just be prepared to take it. Petty Kish, she's hanging out. Steve Engel, I've been to a couple shows in places like the Cadillac Lounge and Griffiths recently. Disappeared Toronto venues where the band got whatever they got, so they passed the hat around after the set. That's a thing too.
When we had a day off in Nashville and we bar hopped for like the whole fucking day and night. It was crazy. But we noticed like literally every fucking place was packed on a Monday.
Yeah.
And yeah, these singers, songwriters, and even bands, they would do their set, and like as soon as they were done, they would have someone in the band walk around with like a tip hat, bucket, whatever.
Yeah.
And dude, like people were throwing like 20s and shit in that. And
see, and that's I'm surprised a lot more like I've seen bands that will have the like Without End, they kind of had the tip gas thing there.
You know where that started, right?
Who?
Well, when we were out on the road.
Yeah.
When we played a show that was like a door split show,
yeah,
the owner was like, hey, if you guys have like a tip jar, like, why don't you walk around and shit, or like give it to me like before you guys go on, and I'll like make an announcement kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a pretty good fucking idea.
Yeah.
So like halfway through our set, he went to his cash register and grabbed like $100 worth of singles and like made it rain fucking on the stage while we were playing. And like after that, I was like, if we're ever playing a show where it's a door split show, or even if we're getting a guarantee and there's a shitload of people, fuck it, let's promote the tip jar.
Yeah.
And more often than not, it worked out really good.
You know, and that could be a thing, you know, like Rob was saying, hey, the diehards, we already have all the fucking t-shirts. We already have all the merch. Yep. You know, that's, you know, maybe a way that the diehards can still support. You know, it's like, I got five, you know, like Shudder. I have 500 of your fucking CDs. I still got 50 of them sitting in a box upstairs. We have no more merch
anyways, so.
You know, and it's like, I got probably about 3 or 4 different Shudder shirts.
Right.
And it's like, you know, if you guys were ever to play again, how the hell am I going to be able to support the band rather than, you know, other than
monetary value?
Well, other than, you know, paying at the door to get in and you getting $3 out of the $10 thing or whatever.
Right.
You know, that's a good idea. Good
well,
idea.
shit, when Harlow played Dirt Fest, we had a tip jar. There was a couple 20s and a $100 bill in there.
Damn,
dude, it was fucking like literally when I opened the top of it, like money like shot out because it was packed in there.
And that was, you know, I've only done the tip thing at my birthday. This last one I had, you know, with the t-shirts and all that, it's like donation, support and all that. I'm thinking, you know, a couple bucks, somebody will be an asshole and throw a roll of pennies in there or something like that.
A sack full of quarters.
Yeah, and it's like I open, I'm like, shit, you know, people will donate. You know, and just kind of be like, here's $5.
When they can do it, when
me.
they can do it at like their own leisure, and some people like
and not have that obligation, I guess, or
not
come
only,
buy our shirts.
Well, not only just that, but some people are like kind of like shy, like where they would just rather do it anonymously. So, and that was why I was talking to Alex and them about doing the QR codes for accepting crypto and shit too. So, but like, no, like some people literally would probably just be like, oh, like I can tip this band. Like I'll just walk by, scan the QR code and then go back to my drink and $5, $10, $1,500. Who cares? Whatever the amount is.
Somebody doesn't know the value of their Bitcoin. Oh man, I've had these Bitcoin just sitting here for like the last like 10 years.
I only paid like 25 cents for these fucking things. I need to get rid of them.
Yeah, here's 20 Bitcoin. You know, it's got to be worth like $1.
Fattest tip ever. But it is a legit thing, man. I mean, to be honest, like when you're a musician and and people are like throwing money in it, it's a pretty good feeling, you know.
That's why strippers do what they do. It's a good feeling when they start making it. I'm sure when that guy pulled that 100 out and started making it rain on the stage, you're like, man, I kind of feel dirty and I kind of like it.
That's fucking hilarious.
What else is going on there? Steve says, the tip thing. Yeah, it worked at my birthday show. I'd assume it would work for bands that, you know, have that diehard thing. And
it's one of those like small, minuscule things that people might not even think to do, though.
Yeah.
Like a tip jar doesn't seem like it's like this, oh my God, that's the greatest idea ever. Yeah. But some people just don't utilize that as a medium to potentially extract some extra cash.
What else? Steve Dave from Texas. I told Kevin before that the brewery sells to distributor and a distributor marks it up 30% to retail stores and retail stores mark it up again another 30%. Probably the same liquor. So
Steve's told me so much shit, though. It's hard for me to remember all of it. Dude's like a fucking encyclopedia of booze.
Patty Kish, awesome. What? Definitely. That's what I got from her. And what else is going on? Rob Surgott, Everything Goes. DJ Ricky. Oh, okay. Sophia Marie, I'm opening up a venue after my practice studio's done. She's got plans, that girl. Rose Weeks, hey, Rose from Fallen Stars here. Oh yeah, yep, we're gonna be playing some Fallen Stars in a little bit as our Pumping Her Dumb Band of the Week, going back to Vancouver. She's chiming in.
Good old BC.
God, remember when we were all over Vancouver?
I know, we were like going to be the next big thing over there.
Yeah, like every
we were
other
gonna have a restaurant named after us, our own poutine.
We were going to go out there and do the Rocks 100 takeover, and then Vancouver just kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Well, we had some pretty solid plans in order. Speaking of poutine, Steve Ingle, thank you for the recipe. I've actually made poutine a number of times ever since Steph and I introduced her to it when we were in Toronto, but shit's bomb.
Did you use Steve's recipe?
It was actually like really, really fucking similar, but it wasn't the exact same.
Okay.
The cheese curds is where it's at, though. You got to get the right ones, man.
Jesus. What a dork. Rob Surgot saw Nashville band on stage, had a hot chick walk around to get tips. They made a lot. I need to meet some hot chicks. Jeff Land. Need your help there, brother. So before we get into everything, Raz, what's been going on? What's new with you? Give the fans what they want.
Oh man, this was actually an action-packed week for me.
Yeah, I want to see how you handle this.
So
I'm gonna sip my tea.
My first week at the new plant was fucking dreadful, and that's me being generous.
Yeah. Not having not good times for Kevin at work.
No, not at all. So to bypass that, because that's just all bullshit, I went and got tattooed yesterday.
Yeah, and all the bad spots too.
Yeah, the whole inside of the forearm into the armpit.
God, that looks painful.
You know, tattoos really, even on spots where it sucks, like after like 5 or 10 minutes, you kind of get numb.
Yeah.
This spot area
in the
has so many
area.
spots where it hurts though. Like you go with the elbow and it was not very pleasant. But that was, it's part of the grind.
Okay.
Trying to get this piece done, man.
Yeah. So how many more sessions you got till you're done with that? I know it looks like you got still ways to go.
So probably 1 or 2, 3. I would say like 6 sessions probably. And that's probably being generous.
Jesus Christ.
Depends how long I want to sit.
All right.
Because, that was like 4 hours. Yeah. Takes a lot out of you.
I'm good for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I'm like, yo, dog, I'm done. I got it. They're like, dude, we just got the outline done on a cross on your shoulder. Yeah, I'm done. This is a lot for your boy. I got to go. This one I got on my wrist took me about 45 minutes. I'm like, I'm about tapped out, guys. You got to wrap this up. So, what else going on, Kev?
I apparently I'm going to be filling in on drums for a pretty decently sized band.
Yeah,
you might have heard of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so is this band Shudder? They're a pretty cool band.
No,
not
at all.
We'll get into this probably next week.
You're not going to let the cat out of the bag?
I don't know. I can't go in deep into that because it'd be. I'm not going to say.
You're
anything.
all about drama, though, Ricky.
I know it's
your middle name, Richard Drama Rocks 100 Rockman.
Well, last night I wasn't the one starting the drama. I guess somebody was starting drama. Can't get into that either because that'll give everything away. Fuck. Can't talk about anything that fucking happened this week. So, okay. What else has been? Talk about the show yesterday so I can think in my head on how I want to attack this.
So, Without End sounded really fucking good.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I wanted to address with the show on that. Because, the PA left a lot to be desired. And I'm not trying to crap on the venue. There's just sometimes they don't have good PAs.
Yeah.
It is what it is. To really sound full in as close to album quality as you possibly can in a situation like that, I always really appreciate bands that can play those kinds of situations and sound really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen them in over 2 years at least. I think they were on hiatus for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So
Well, we don't count last year. I was talking to Darcy from Storm Theory. I think 2020 we don't even count. Everybody just kind of aged 2 years.
That's fair. Yeah. Fallen Stronger sounded really damn good too. If you're into fucking Pantera covers that fucking sound badass, you know, they're a good band to check out.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, I was just really impressed with Without End's whole set because it sounded really fucking good.
And full disclaimer, this is a band that Kevin is booking on their tour, so
there's no bias. This
is why this is with the sale. This is why there's the sales pitch here.
There's no sales
Dude,
pitch.
they sounded awesome.
No, I was genuinely really impressed.
Kevin's booking their tour. He's part of the management team over at Without End LLC. So can you give any update on, you know, their touring schedule? How long it's going to be, how long they're going to be out there, what their plan is for all that, or you just kind of like, I'll just keep going until you tell me to stop.
It's kind of a little bit of that. Like, I have their availability in days they can't.
Yeah.
I've been loading up some weekday shows, so I mean, that's a plus.
So as of right now, how long are they going to be out on their first run?
I mean, I haven't even solidified like a fucking route. Like, I'm just picking apart like weekends and shit for.
Oh, okay.
And like, I'm gonna try and iron out like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and like a certain specific area.
Yeah.
So it could be part of a longer run. It could be just like 4 or 5 days. It remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Things are just like happening in the moment, so I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna book you guys down to Florida in October because I don't really know where Florida's going to be. I don't know where fucking...
I think Florida's going to be in the same exact spot it's been.
Okay. North Carolina, South Carolina, the whole way down there.
I think they'll all still be there.
I don't know where those states are at with like shows.
Right.
And I haven't talked to anybody. Like, I've sent out feelers to a bunch of different places, so
yeah,
a lot of it's me waiting to hear back. So I can't say, oh, they're going out for 30 days or anything like that, because I don't know.
Well, there it is. So, yeah, kind of getting into that show yesterday. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on people. I'm not talking about that, Kev. The first show that I did at the New Dodge, I can't remember the sound guy's name. He was excellent. It was Screw and Tommy's birthday thing. Yep. So I'm like, dude, freaking killer. The sound was awesome. You know, the PA sounded great. The show after that was the what was it? Cougaran show. New sound guy. Left a lot to be desired. Maybe cared a little bit more about his beer than he did making sure shit worked.
Oh, did he do the like set it and forget it?
I don't want to dump on the guy. He seems like a cool guy. I talked to him for like a minute. It seems that maybe he doesn't have the knowledge base to be able to live mix a band. That's not like a punk rock band where it's pretty much, you can pretty much set it and forget it. You're not going to have dueling lead guitar solos. You're not going to have two or different vocalists. You're going to have,
there's less dynamics to the
you're going to have a singer, a guitar player, bass player, and a drummer. You could pretty much just get the levels right first, you know, right off the bat, and pretty much leave it alone. That's the wonder of punk rock. You don't have to, listen to the band and be like, okay, I think there's a guitar solo coming from this guy. I got to jack him up and
or backing tracks,
or backing tracks and stuff like that. So realized this was a problem at the Cougaran show, but I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is, and hopefully the next show the original guy will come back. No. Didn't happen. So the way the show...
Is there any reason for why?
I have no idea. Okay. I wasn't going to go...
I didn't know if you knew or not.
I wasn't going to go and cast shade on anybody last night. But so the show last night, the way it was originally scheduled to go, because I wasn't sure with all the new laws we have here with how long bars are going to be open and all this, I was thinking bars were going to be closed at midnight. I thought that was a thing. Louis like, no, I think it's 2:00 now. And I'm like, okay, well, it's your place. We'll go by your rules.
When he says, I think, that's pretty funny.
So I'm like, okay, first band, Storm Theory. Okay, doors at 7. We're going to have Storm Theory go on at 8. Then we're going to have Fallen Stronger at 9, Without End at 10. And give, some time to, a relatively early show. And give the bands time to talk to people, to hang out.
Mingle, relax.
Do whatever the fuck they want to do. No, that did not happen at all. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, fuck, it's 8 o'clock. And I'm like, hey, you guys about ready to go? They're like, oh, no, we're playing at, they bumped it all back to 9. I'm like, okay, not too upset at this point. I told Alex, I'm like, hey, instead of 10, you're going to be playing at 11. He's like, dude, totally cool, totally fine. Larry and the guys in Fallen Stronger, totally cool, totally fine. So I'm like, all right, cool. 9 o'clock rolls around. Not really running yet. So I'm like, okay. Closer to 9:30, things start getting started. So Storm Theory goes on, does their thing. Awesome set. They put on a great show, and it sounded great. And during this whole thing, the Heavy Metal Syndicate, they were doing a raffle and all this that they've been doing for like the last couple months, and this is going to be the drawing for it. So I'm going to go introduce Fallen Stronger. They're like, Ricky, you can come up and introduce us, do your thing. So I'm like, okay, cool. Mic doesn't work. And they're like, just use the other mic. I'm like, you're going to need this fucking mic anyway. This is the lead singer's fucking mic, so you might as well get it fucking working now, because if it doesn't work now, it's not going to work for the fucking lead singer. So I'm like, just fix it.
Right.
Homeboy, sound guy. I'm like, yo, it doesn't work. He's like, wiggle it. I'm like, I've been wiggling, I've been jiggling, I've been giving it the whole rigmarole. I'm pretty much giving this thing a hand job, trying to get this thing to work. And, he's carrying his beer around and all this. And I'm like, oh, I automatically I'm starting to get fed up, because he's just kind of lackadaisically just kind of walking around and disappearing. And I'm like, you have one fucking job, bro. Make sure the fucking microphones work. He's like, oh, this is a new chord. I'm like, no, it's not. I can see 5 million kinks in this motherfucker. It was
it's
a fucking,
frayed and
it
shit.
was a freaking mess. And
chew marks.
So, he switches out the cable and the mic and all this, and it worked. So Fallen Stronger does their thing. It starts even more later than before, than it was supposed to. And so Fallen Stronger does phenomenal. It sounds great and all this. And I guess the whole gist of it was, I'm just gonna lay it out there, I don't like the sound guy that they had. Borderline unprofessional. Like I don't think he ever had any spunk in this guy's step. He was just kind of wandering around. And I'm like trying to check the mic. I'm looking up at the sound booth. Nowhere to be fucking found. I turn around, he's outside having a cigarette. I'm like, you're supposed to be sound checking this band right now. We got to get this shit rolling. I don't want to be having Without End going on at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning or some dumb shit, and having 45 minutes between bands. So,
and then there was no music in between the bands for a minute too.
God, I love that. That's such an awesome place. There's so much potential there. I don't know where they find these guys. Don't know where they find them. I can't think of a worse sound guy I've ever had to deal with. I'm being completely honest.
Did you ever consider, when booking a show there, being like, hey, can I bring my own sound guy?
I don't know any sound guys.
Well, I'm just throwing that out there.
I probably could, but I don't know any sound guys that would do it for $100, or
that's probably the reason why we're in that position, unfortunately.
I'd be like, yo, can I pay a little bit more and get some quality in here?
All right.
I was like, fuck, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm promoting these shows, and great bar and great staff and all this, but it seems like the sound guy is kind of like a rotating door. They don't have like a guy. It's just kind of like numerous guys.
Oh, this is the new temp.
Yeah, it's just like numerous guys.
Our intern for the summer.
And, you drinking all fucking night and wandering around, and, he's talking to people. I'm like, you have a fucking job. I'm paying you. Do your fucking job. That's all I ask. You do your fucking job. This isn't I'm not paying you to be a social butterfly. Run the fucking sound. Make sure the bands are on time. Get everything sound checked to the best of your ability. That's all I ask. Drinking beer, wandering around, talking to the bands, having cigarettes, doing all while he's supposed to be sound checking. Awful.
There's a reason why, like, when you're in a band and you play somewhere like the Machine Shop, you get like it's like a serious thing. So like when you've played at places that don't do that, and then you go there, you're like, holy shit! It's seriously mind blowing, but it's the quality of the fucking show. You know what I mean? It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So it's a thing. Get Razlow to be your sound guy. Hey Kev, you want to run sound?
The drums are gonna sound fucking pristine. I can't say much about the rest of the band though.
What's going on in the chat? I used to live close to your area when I was a kid. Actually, Madison Heights, Hazel Park. Rose from Vancouver.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, used to be from Michigan. Yeah, look at that.
Hazel Tucky.
I want to get an interview with her and be like, so why'd you move from wonderful Michigan to Vancouver?
That universal health care, bro.
Oh no. So yeah, that's what's up. And with that said, you know, I talked to a couple people yesterday. I'm not going to be doing a lot more of these Rocks 100 shows going forward because after the last two, I'm like,
it's ran its course.
it's kind of, you know, I kind of did what I wanted to do with this. I was trying to help the New Dodge get going, and it seems like they kind of got their feet underneath them again. And people are texting me. I'm on air, Miranda. And I don't know where the fuck I was going. Oh, yeah. So it seems like they kind of got their feet underneath them with shows and doing all that. So I, you know, my mission was accomplished. I did what I wanted to do. So I got one more show.
We got a comment on the fucking amount of pizza deliveries there last night.
That was ridiculous. It's like for the amount of, it's like the ratio of people buying pizzas, like a quarter of the people.
There was at least 10 orders.
Yeah.
For sure.
I went outside to throw my Without End merch in the car, and the Hungry Howie's guy comes strolling, and he's like, bro, this is the third time I've been here in the last hour. And it's like, not just a small pizza, it's like a fucking dinner. Dinner's the guy's bringing in. He's like, dude, I've been here like 3 times in the last fucking hour. I'm like,
hopefully that Howie's was close. That dude was raking in the tips.
I know. Hopefully it was. So, yeah, it was a thing. So, yeah, I got one more show that I'm going to be doing at the New Dodge. That I'm going to be taking a break from doing the regular, I guess, independent shows. I'm going to kind of more stick to events and shit like that.
Like all the big ones you're going to be playing in.
I'm not emceeing those.
No. No. I just meant you're going to focus on playing big
I mean,
events.
you know, if somebody hires me to MC a show, I'll fucking do it. Or if somebody asks me to do something, I'll do it. But I'm not going to, you know, take the time out to build shows like that, like this.
So you're
anymore.
MC for hire.
I've always been MC
No,
for
I know,
hire,
but
you know?
we got to throw that out there. If
No.
you want Rikki ROXX, call 1-800 blah 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 blah.
Call 1-800 big tits. But the last one I'm going to be doing for a while is August 14th at the New Dodge. Screw the Hormones and Walkin' Talkin' Toxins punk rock show. So it should sound phenomenal. So,
Raw.
So that's super cool. So after that, you know, with Casting Shadows and all the everything happened with that, I figured it's best to just step away from the booking shows thing. And with Baby Watch 2021 entering its 49th week, ready for that stuff to be done.
It's only just begun, Ricky.
It's only just begun to live.
Yeah,
Rose
18 some odd years.
Oh, Rose went the stoner route. Yes, that BC Bud is worth it alone. I don't know, man. We have a lot of dispensaries and shit here now.
That is true.
Yeah, I passed the old Kowalski sausage place is a dispensary now. I saw that driving through Hamtown.
You can get a sausage full of fucking Doge.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know.
A sausage full of Doge?
You said it was an old sausage factory.
Full of Doge? What's Doge?
Doja.
What's
Weed?
that? Oh, is that what that is? Is that what they call it?
You never listened to Bone Thugs and Harmony, apparently.
No. Doge? I'm like, wait, there's Dogecoin in there? That shit's worthless.
DOJ, bro.
I have no fucking clue. It was bizarre.
Get out of here, boomer.
I know. So yeah, that's what's up. All right, we're gonna get into our Pump It or Dump It band of the week. She's sitting there. She's probably like, "Play my song. I want to hear my song." I'll play your song. Here it is. Fallen Stars out of Vancouver, British Columbia. If you're fans of hard rock and pop metal, you will dig this. They have the song, a new single coming out. I'm not even sure if I can play it because I don't think it's not even released yet. But I'm like, fuck it, I'll do what I want. Trial by Fire, brand new single coming out from those guys, I believe in a week or so. Head on over to the Facebook page, facebook.com/rocks100. I have a link to a live rendition of the song that they have on YouTube. So check it out, and we're going to be playing the studio version for you here. Head on over to facebook.com/Fallen Stars Vancouver or www.fallenstarsband.com. Gonna read the stock description that I got when I got the MP3 and all that, because I love their choice of wording whenever they do these band bio things. It's immaculately worded. It says, Fallen Stars are a thrilling explosion of sound hailing from the wetlands of Vancouver. This fantastic 5-piece brilliantly fused hard rock and pop metal, generating a completely refreshing sound. Their music is simultaneously warm and whimsical, yet righteous and rare. Frontwoman Rose has a soul-shaking voice that rattles listeners to the core. Her vocal range is impossibly well suited to the wall of sound surrounding her by this group of fiercely talented artists. Fallen Stars are proud members of the LGBTQ+ and queer community. The band's natural inclusivity is palpable. This is a lot of big words. In their endlessly passionate music. The band has garnered some serious and well-deserved accolades over the years. Their upcoming full-length record, deep breath, Execution, illuminates the band's endless versatility and talent. Stay tuned for everything this ferociously gifted group has to offer. Down will be released in the early summer.
Whoever wrote that, can you write my cover letter for me when I apply for
it's
jobs?
Like this. You ever see that episode? Did you ever watch Friends?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was an episode where it was like Joey was supposed to be writing like he was going to be the pastor at Monica and Chandler's wedding. And he's like, I can't make this. I want to make this sound smart. So Ross comes over. He's like, well, use the thesaurus.
Oh, yeah.
And so then later it's just like he replaced every word with the thesaurus. He's like, this makes no sense now. You know, this isn't nowhere. It just kind of reminded me of that. Last week we had Mud Creek of big words. Churubusco, Indiana, and their song, My Everything. It received 15 votes, so super cool. And we're going to play Fallen Stars, their song, Trial by Fire. And then we're going to come back with our beer of the week. And then, I'm going to have to hit them up and tell them we're going to bump it back 5 or 10 more minutes. And then the 8 o'clock hour, we'll be talking to JAY R SLEAZE from the Brisbane, Australia band Snake Bite Whiskey. So we're going to do this. We will be right back with episode number 107 of the Rikki ROXX Show right here on Rocks100.com.
It isn't true, I bleed. That doesn't matter when you bleed. In pain and alone, bruised by their stones. My hope has now gone, and by the early dawn, I've been waiting days or weeks. I can't tell my faith is weak. I'm getting burned alive. To the stake, I won't recognize. This trial by fire is the last memory of me. You'll see when you close your eyes and dream. you still hear my screams? Forever haunting in your dreams. My eyes open wide, lungs filled with pride, cursing your name as you spark the flames. I've been waiting days or weeks. I can't tell my faith is weak. I'm getting burned alive, tied to the stake. I won't wake the night. This trial by fire is the last memory of me. You'll see when you close your eyes and dream. I've been waiting days or weeks. I can't tell my faith is weak. I'm getting burned alive, tied to the stake. I won't make a night. This trial by fire is the last memory of me. You'll see when you close your eyes and dream.
There it is.
Hell yeah.
There it is. Fallen Stars out of Vancouver, British Columbia, and their song Trial by Fire. The chat is going wild. They love it. They
No,
love
it was
it.
real good. I could picture them like Vans Warped Tour, you know?
If that was still a thing.
Well, yeah. But no, it was really, really good. Really well produced, well written song. Really catchy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Dude, it was, I was watching, because, okay, so when I went, because usually when I do the Pump It or Dump It thing, I usually look to see if they have a music video or something like that. For this one, they don't have a music video out for it yet. I'm assuming at some point they will. They have the live version of it, professionally done and all that. And I'm like, okay, you know, it's the live version. I'm going to go actually listen to another song. And I'm like, wow, this is, like you said, very well produced. Like their music videos, like on YouTube, this is a new thing. I don't know what resolution this is, but it's like a, it's like super long and kind of thin. And I'm like, I don't know if that's like 4K or some 8K or whatever the heck that is. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, man, this, you know, you get the bars on the top and bottom of your screen and
It's
all
like
this.
the movie theater shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you need like 2 screens to play this thing, you know. And I'm like, wow, this is freaking awesome. And then you know, reading up on them and all that, and being members of the letters LBGTQ and all that, and I'm like, wow, cool. They stand for something, you know. Come out with killer shit. And so yeah, it looks like Rose, if you're still there, I'm gonna be hitting you up. We got to get you on the air here and talk to you.
Hell yeah.
So this could be super cool.
Definitely.
So yeah, I guess now is we can get into our
Steve Dave segment.
This is the Steve Dave segment. Here it is.
Beer of the week.
All right, it sounded low because I had it set really low.
Oh, okay.
Because I can play it, but it'll weirdly double. So this week's beer of the week is, let me get that music going. All right. I don't know if I can play this music. We'll see. This week's beer of the week comes from Lansing Brewing Company out of Lansing, Michigan. This is Joe in Black. Here's the label and the...
Is there any special drinking instructions
I know.
on this one?
I know.
Because I always fuck that up.
They're Joe in Black Dark Ale. This is a 4.2 ABV. 15 IBUs. Untapped.com gives this a 7.2 out of 10. Quick description on this one. Here is your introduction to dark beers. A very light-bodied ale that is clean and to the point. Very delicate. I don't know why I'm burping so much. Very delicate and smooth chocolate profile. A finish is dry and will leave you wanting another sip. Kevin's already got it in his fancy glasses. Kevin Raslog, you're rendered speechless on this one.
You said your
Sophia says don't shake it this time.
your introduction into dark beer.
Yeah.
It certainly does not go down or taste like
Let's see if I can get
a darker beer would. Oh, look at that. It's like the perfect pour. It seems kind of like watered down to me.
Well, I mean, this is a dark ale, so it's not like a stout or a port or anything like that.
Maybe that's what's confusing me. I'm expecting it to have more bite.
Horrible radio. That's always quiet. Yeah, usually when you get, when I see a color like this, where you can't see through it and it's very dark, your mind tells you that this is going to be a thick,
right?
Chewy beer. But this is a dark ale, so
like you got molasses.
Got molasses. But this, like I said, this isn't a stout or a port or anything like that, so there's not going to be that, I guess, thickness. I don't know why, but so what are your thoughts on this one? Nikki picked this one up, and I'm like, the packaging looks cool.
No, the packaging does look cool. Taste-wise, it doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I'd probably say like a 7. Just kind of meh. It's drinkable, but that's about it. If it was the last couple in the fridge, yeah. I'd drink them.
And like Kevin said, it's very light. It does kind of have that, watered down taste, but that, I guess that's a taste you're gonna get with a lot of ales anyway. That it kind of, tastes watery. Hence the 4.2 ABV.
Right.
You do kind of, with it being that low octane and not like a heavy beer like a stout, the flavor profiles are going to be a little bit more subdued because, like you said, it does taste a little watered down, but you can definitely get a little bit of that chocolate or, a dark, I guess, baking chocolate kind of taste, that kind of like unsweetened chocolate thing.
Man, I don't get any of that.
I get a little bit. It's in there. There's not a lot as to the taste profile on this one. You're pretty much just getting that little bit of that chocolatey kind of borderline coffee taste, and that's pretty much about all you're getting. The description says it all. It's an intro to dark beers. This is you're not going to be surprised by any of the tastes that are coming out of this one, So if it's,
I'm surprised by the lack of.
Yeah, you're not getting a lot of taste out of it. This is a get home from work, don't want to get tanked, just want to kind of have a beer and hang out kind of beer.
Now, if you're posted up at the bar and you want to look like you're drinking some high octane shit without getting shitty, this is the perfect one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7 right there with you. It's an average beer, like I said, there's not a lot of taste profile to it. You're not getting a lot as far as taste. And, this isn't like a dinner beer or anything like that. This is just kind of like maybe you're sitting on your back porch kind of deal, and you just want to have a beer after work. That's pretty much all this is. Not the worst I've ever had.
What was the price point on it?
Nikki gave me $7 back, so I'm guessing for a 6-pack it was probably about $11-12.
Okay.
Worth the price? I don't know.
Debatable.
Yeah, debatable. So, it's like I said, it's not the worst beer. The packaging, when Nikki sent me the picture, I'm like, this is, awesome packaging. On the back it says, Joe in Black has traversed across the mitten, bringing light to the darkness, spreading the word like a wildfire that won't die down. With the charm of a rattlesnake and the humor of a 70s sitcom, he transforms the meanest of hombres, leaving a long trail of Joseph, Mary, and Jesus-loving converts all over the Great Lakes state. Joan Black is as dark as night, but like its namesake, deceptively lighter and delicate under the surface than you would think. This is a beer that surprises the tongue and excites. No, it doesn't excite my spirit at all. Can we get an amen? No.
The packaging looks like a Nintendo Switch video game.
Yeah. It's
Steve was saying Guinness is only 4.2. How does it compare? I hate Guinness personally, so I'm not the right person to ask. I think Guinness has got more of that molasses.
Guinness is a little bit more smooth than this, I guess. A little bit more, I guess, silky, and you get a lot.
Silky smooth.
There's more flavor in a Guinness, I think, than this. You know, this is very, very subdued.
Just basically look at it as Coors Light that's dark.
With a little bit of, you know, a little bit of that chocolate taste to it. You know, it's
Keystone Dark.
God.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I'd probably give Guinness the same score. Now that Steve kind of mentions it, it is kind of
Guinnessy
a little bit, but I'd much rather have a Guinness than this. So
fair enough.
So there it is.
I had too many of those cement mixers when I was in college.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't like Guinness.
Let me see how we're doing here. No problem. Drop me a message in about 5 minutes before now, he tells me. Okay, so let me tell him he can call in anytime.
I was going to say, do you want to play another a song?
Yeah, I guess we can do that. We are going to play one of your songs, then call in. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to play some Snake Bite Whiskey. We're going to be talking to their singer, JAY R SLEAZE, in a few minutes. So here it is, Snake Bite Whiskey out of Brisbane, Australia. Their song Hammered. We'll be right back with the interview right after this, right here, episode number 107 of the Rikki ROXX Show, Rocks100.com.
I think I need was out.
This is like typical Ricky Roxx kind of
Snake
tunes.
Bite Whiskey, hammered. Talking about bags of blow. That is Ricky Roxx.
Coming out swinging like the first fucking verse.
So we're going to be talking to the vocalist JAY R SLEAZE. We're going to be talking to him in the future because it's Monday morning where he is now.
Oh, shit.
So he's probably getting ready for work. I want to know what he does for a living. Saying about bags of blow and banging cunts. And, I can't say that word, I guess. I was watching a video today on YouTube, and I guess they got flagged for saying that word.
Really?
Yeah. I guess there's certain things you can say and can't say, like in the first 10 minutes of a video. Granted, we're way beyond 10 minutes
YouTubers
now,
in England must be hating it.
I know, right? Johnny Gazoon checking in. He was hanging out at the show yesterday from Oscar Goldman Overdrive. They got their CD release coming up. I got no part to do with it, so I don't know when it is.
Feel free to drop that in the chat, Johnny.
Yeah, drop it in the chat, Johnny. So we're going to be talking to JR in a few. He keeps telling me, give him a heads up. Here's your heads. I gave him a heads up. Now is good.
Great heads up.
He's like, first I tell him 20 minutes. And he's like, no problem. Drop me a message about 5 minutes before. I'm like, we're going to play your songs, then call in. Just give me a heads up. Here's the heads up. All right, so hopefully he's there. We'll be talking to JAY R SLEAZE, Snake Bite Whiskey. If you haven't yet, make sure you smash that subscribe button and be notified anytime the Ricky Roxx Show goes on air on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
It's a thing. We are a couple, not more than a couple, like 68 subs away from our goal for 100 by the end of June. Having to build a whole new social media platform up again from the bottom up after the last 2 years on Facebook, moving over to YouTube. Last week was our first show on YouTube. So head on over, share it on all your social medias and all that, and send everybody over to the YouTube page. And if you're new,
like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Johnny said their show's August 7th at the Diesel featuring Hillbilly Knife Fight, Fallen Stronger, and more TBA.
Yeah,
I want to know who this more TBA band is. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to start a band.
That's a good name.
TBA.
I don't know. I've heard this story over the years that a band called themselves Free Beer. So when they put it on the flyer, everyone came thinking it was free beer. I always thought that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's corny as shit, but
it'd be a good.
It would probably work for a little bit.
Yeah.
Come see Free Beer. Oh, free beer. Fuck yeah, I'm there.
Be like, you can only see it. You can't actually get it. It said see free beer. It doesn't mean you get to actually drink the free beer. Okay. So hopefully waiting.
Hey, that's what tour life's all about, Ricky. You're going to get used to it real quick. All you do is wait. You're a professional waiter.
At least when you're a waiter, you get tipped. And, you know, this might be a little bit an issue because he's calling from Australia. So I told him, like, the world code is 1. So I'm like, 1313.
Yeah.
You know, because his country code is probably like 325 or something like that.
325.
So yeah, waiting patiently for that. How are you guys enjoying your new transition to YouTube? It's tough, right? It's tough.
I don't mind it because I don't do shit. I just show up and fucking talk.
You know, it sucks the fact that we have, like I said, you have to build up a whole social media platform. Looking at how much I've spent on YouTube promoting that over the last 2 years, thousands and thousands of dollars. The thing with YouTube is you don't really, at least not that I found, have an option to promote your videos on YouTube. You know, where you can, do a paid, like you can with Facebook. You know, you don't have that option with YouTube.
Well, that kind of levels the playing field because some fucking dude could just sink a bunch of money into his shit to move up the list.
Yeah, but, the thing is, the more subscribers and more views you get, the next video you put up, the higher it'll rate up there and all that. And that's the weird issue that we're at, where it's... like I said, starting a whole new platform again. On Facebook, we have over 7,000.
We're a very small fish in a big pond.
Yeah, we have like 7,000 likes on Facebook. I think 7,500 follows. On here, we have 32. So 2 weeks building this thing up and trying to find a way to be able to promote this efficiently, because what I found is when you're promoting YouTube on Facebook, it gets doxed pretty heavily, and it's hard to reach people promoting another platform.
Now, as far as streaming quality goes,
the streaming quality, it's hands down, this is a lot better.
Okay.
You know, you can go completely HD. The audio quality is a lot better. I can go, for you nerds out there, 320 KBS, you know, which is CD quality. We're on Facebook.
What's the bit rate?
I don't know. I can't remember. I know I'm streaming.
I was more so fucking with you, but if you actually shout out a number for that, I'd be pretty impressed.
Here it goes. I think we got it. Jay.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, doing all right. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good, man. Good.
So what time is it where you're at right now? Because it's Monday morning, am I correct?
Yeah, that's right, man. It's 20 past 10 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So not even at lunchtime yet. We just finished our dinner here. So what's the, you know, jumping right into the big, I guess world issue that a lot of bands are dealing with right now. With you guys, you know, how's the whole COVID thing working out for you guys over there? Are you guys on your way back to normalcy, or are you guys like Canada, pretty much locked down and tethered to your house?
No, we've been pretty lucky in Australia. We haven't had, unless you're living in Melbourne or something, but then they had major lockdowns, and they just came out of a lockdown last week. But yeah, we've been come out pretty much unscathed, man. Like, yeah, it's screwed around with touring and stuff like that. But as a country as a whole, yeah, we've got it pretty much under control. They lock down for like 2 or 3 days when there's a little outbreak, and then they get it under control and then open everything up again. So yeah, it's been fairly cool. We haven't had it as hard as like a lot of countries have had it.
Wow, so you guys, like, it messed with touring a little bit, you know. So where are you guys at now? Like, are your clubs and your venues and all that, you know, 100% gung-ho, ready to go, staying open all night kind of thing? Or are there those weird, you know, bars have to close at midnight kind of thing, and you can only have 20 people in the club at any one time? Or, you know, what's the deal?
Yeah, no, man. It depends where you are, because in Australia, every state has its own state government, so they make their own rules up as they go, kind of thing. But pretty much everywhere except for Victoria, where Melbourne is back to full capacity, you know, normal trading hours and stuff like that. So they got a bit of like contact tracing and shit like that, where you got to, you know, check in when you get to a venue and stuff. But other than that, yeah, we're fully open. Yeah, especially in Queensland.
So have you guys like actively played at all, like in the last year?
Yeah. We started playing again this year. We did one show last year, about August. But yeah, this year we played a whole bunch of shows. We played Brisbane, Adelaide, Melbourne already. And we played Gold Coast on Saturday night. We're playing Brisbane again this Friday night. And then we're back to Melbourne in July. So yeah, so everything for us is pretty cool. The only like kind of fucking knock-on thing is that we can't book a block tour, because we don't want to cancel a bunch of dates just in case there's a lockdown or something. So we're really piecemeal at the moment. Yeah.
So with that being said, how were the shows? I mean, Ricky and I were talking about, you know, in Michigan at the very least, you know, when he did his birthday show, we basically had just come out of like the restrictions. And then a couple of the other shows after that, you know, the attendance was really good, but it seems to have wavered a little bit. How the quality of shows been for you guys over there?
Oh, they've been awesome. Yeah, we sold the last 3 shows, except for the Gold Coast, which was pretty good capacity, but it's always a struggle in that area with rock and roll. But the 3 previous shows to that were all sold out, basically. They were capacity crowds. It's been awesome for us.
So let's get down to brass tacks. We played Hammered, you know, before this interview, and within the first half hour, or not half, 30 seconds of the song, you know, you're dropping bags of coke and strippers and the whole bit, and getting hammered and all this. Kevin's looking at me like, Jesus, and no holds barred. They're going straight for it. You know, your kind of brand of music I like to call it kind of like retro rock, I guess, kind of like that 70s, 80s, New York Dolls kind of glammy gutter, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, punk rock and roll conglomeration and all this. Here in the States, we've talked to a couple bands that are kind of, along the same vein as you guys, and they say it's super hard over here to get that music taken seriously here in the States, as an original band, without it coming, it's hard to be taken seriously, not coming across as kind of like gimmicky. I'm kind of curious, in Australia, do you run into those same issues where people are like, what the hell's up with the gimmick, the stage names, the, kind of throwback thing? Do you guys get that, or is it a little bit more well received there?
We did get that at the beginning when we started out as a band, and I blame Stu fucking directly for that shit, because they're the band that have made it seem like a parody to outsiders looking in. People aren't, in the scene or anything like that, because people in the scene know, oh yeah, you're a serious band. Like, this is how you dress, this is what you are. And that, but people looking from the outside go, oh, you're just like Steel Panther. And like, no, we're not a parody, mate. We're not doing it taking the piss. We don't wear wigs and stuff. We're a real deal. So it took us a long time, a good couple of years, to start getting recognized as a serious, rock and roll band, not as a joke or a hobby kind of thing. So like, we're at a stage now where, we've got the reputation, we've built it up, and people know we're the real deal. We don't, lyrically and the stuff, and like when you look at Hammered, but like every part of Hammered is a true story. It's an amalgamation of some parties that we've all been to and stuff like that. So and which is lyrically the way we approach everything. I approach it. It's just everything's based on some kind of fact or experience. So it's hard, and I get like white guys in the state, American bands will struggle as well to get the recognition, and it is literally like down to bands like Steel Panther who have made it look like bands that are doing this style of music are just in it for a joke, or
right,
which sucks. But
so you blame Steel Panther for all the kind of flack that bands of your I guess genre have to deal with.
I do, mainly because they're massively popular, and that's like people's kind of like touchstones. The first thing they think of when you see guys with bandanas and cowboy boots on, and that's the thing. Oh, Steel Panther. So I mean, good for them. They're excellent musicians and stuff like that, and they built a great career out of it. But it's been a struggle to get taken seriously. We're lucky enough now that we are taken seriously. Like, we're 2 albums in now, so I think people really understand what we're about. But
So was there like ever a time, at the beginning, because I run into this as well, because I wear the cons and the makeup and the bandanas like you guys do, was there ever, at the beginning, hey, maybe we should not go this route visually, as a performance and hope to get taken more serious, more at the beginning? Was there ever that thought of, hey, let's just go up in flannels and jeans and see what happens?
No, never crossed our mind. Like, when we started the band, we wanted to be a sleaze rock, sleaze metal band. That's what we wanted to do. It's kind of music we wanted to play. And the image is how we dress normally. So, it just was like, we weren't going to change ourselves just to try and get a bit of fame and fortune or an easier route. You know what I mean? We were never going to change. Like, this is what we are. We're true to what we do. We love this style of music, and it's all we ever wanted to do. So if people don't dig it, they can just piss off. We're not bothered.
So from that, as you talked about the kind of Steel Panther perception of that kind of music, from the beginning, explain how you guys as a band have, kind of, I guess, conquered that that stigma and grew yourselves as a legitimate band? You know, was it, you know, just sticking with it and then eventually people started to hop on, or, you know, how did you guys kind of combat that?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much it was, we stuck to our guns and didn't like change. I think the other thing that helped us get more legitimacy amongst people and fans, and that was the fact that we're not straight up with the 80s style. We mix a lot of, like, we've got heavy metal influences in us and punk and a little bit of country as well, outlaw country. So we took all of those things and kind of melded them all together and made our own sound. You know, and I don't think I'm being too big-headed, but we're a pretty unique band in today's scene. Like, we do have a definitive sound that, like, when you put it on, you know it's Snake Bite Whiskey, because, you know, it's just the way we've done it. And that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody else would do it. Yeah. And we push the boundaries, you know, lyrically and, you know, with the, like, language and that, but it's, you know, that's the way we talk and stuff. And if people don't like it, as I said, they can just rack off. We don't care. Like, you know, we stuck to our guns. You know, yeah, and that's why, like, Motorhead is a big influence on us as well. And maybe not so much in the sound, although you can hear it in some of the tracks. They got a real Motorhead vibe to them, but it was more the attitude. Like, you know, Lemmy was never about anything other than the fact that they were a rock and roll band. Yeah, and that's our kind of attitude. You know?
Kevin, you got anything?
Man, this interview is like blowing my mind just because like it's so unique and so cool. Like if I were out in your neck of the woods, right, and I had never been to like a show of your guys' genre or whatever, what would I expect to see at one of your guys' shows? Because just going off of the song,
I'm expecting mounds of blow, Tony Montana style.
I'm expecting a good time.
Sleazy women and questionable decisions. You know, is this what a Snake Bite Whiskey? You know, is that the kind of, you know, when you guys
have to sign a waiver to come in?
Yeah, you know, what's a Snake Bite Whiskey show? Because watching, you know, the Hammered video, you know, your backyard drinking, drugs, chicks, just like pretty much everywhere you turn, there's bad decisions being made. You know, what's the vibe when you guys are, you know, you got your show, you know, your people are there. What's the vibe like with everybody?
Yeah, man, it's like, yeah, our shows are chaos. They're just, it's over the top madness. And if we play too late, then we're generally too drunk as well, which is another problem. Which is a problem when you get to be a headlining act now, because we headline most of the shows and you're always playing late, and we just drink because we got nothing else to do. So
see, people
the stage,
people gave me shit about saying. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, man. It's like, yeah, the crowd interaction with the band is always like phenomenal, and like we encourage stage invasions at the last track, and there's always like tons of chicks at the shows and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how to describe it other than what you see in Hammered is like the kind of backyard version of what we do on stage.
Yeah,
you know, laggy. Everybody moves. You know, we're not one of those bands which just look at our shoes on stage. You know, we're just constantly moving, and I've fallen off stage, fallen over everybody, the drum kit, fucking, we just let loose, and whatever happens, there's no choreography, it just happens.
So I need to ask this, because I've been playing for a lot of years in a lot of bands, and I've grown to hate playing later because of everything you were saying about we got nothing better to do than just to fucking drink and have a good time and all this. How do you guys, are you guys...
I mean, it sounds like they just want to drink to begin with.
Are you guys are you a band that can function, as a band on stage after having, you guys are headlining a show that
tons
you guys
of blow and
can function like that? Or is there a, I guess, a kind of feeling that you guys got to kind of like watch it a little bit. Be like, all right, guys, don't get too fucking nuts because we don't play for another 4 hours. And I know how you fuckers are, that you want to go to the bar and fucking knock down some shots and shit. So watch it, guys. Or is it kind of like, yo, as long as you can play the fucking show, do your goddamn thing?
Yeah, pretty much. We're like, we don't watch each other and keep each other in check. We just do what we do, and generally, we just sit around and drink anyway. Like, I mean, an example is when we played in Adelaide like a couple of weeks ago. We got in on the Friday night, and we're like, okay, we're going to go out and have a massive night tonight. Like, we're not, hitting it too hard during the day, before the show. So we went out, went to strip clubs, and we were out till like 5 a.m. We got really fucked up and had a couple hours sleep, and then we were like, should we have a beer? I'm like, hell yes. So we just started. So we just drank all through the day. But the thing is that we paced ourselves out and we played the show. It was a phenomenal show as well. Like, we really killed it. So we can operate at a level of drunkenness which I don't think other bands can. And I think you get a lot of like faintness in the industry where people go, oh yeah, we can party hard, and then they hang out with us and they realize they can't really party at all.
You guys are the one-uppers.
So I need to ask this, because Kevin's known me for many years and has seen me play drunk on stage many times. Fell off many a stage, quote unquote play, and fall off stage plenty of times. I need to ask, if you think back all these years, you guys doing this and pretty much living the dream. I'm very envious and wish I could still go like that. What sticks out in your head is, geez, we were so freaking hammered. This dude fell off the stage, but somehow we managed to pull it all together. What was the biggest, I guess, quote unquote, train wreck, of debauchery that you guys have gone through?
Probably the biggest one actually wasn't with this band. It was in my previous band in England, called Jack Viper. We downed a couple of bottles of Jack before going on stage, and it was this massive venue, and we were playing with a bunch of other indie rock kind of bands, so we really stuck out because it was also a sleaze band. And I got so drunk that I actually lost the microphone on the stage, and I was crawling around the stage trying to find it. Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow. So that was. Eventually, I found it. We finished the show, and that was it. But yeah, that's probably the worst. With Snake Bite, we're pretty good at just keeping it together. Like, we can, even if we're like absolutely shit faced, we'll still pull off the show. Because it's important to us as well. Because if people even pay money to see you, we want them to have a show. You know what I mean? So, we will always deliver the show, and no matter what state we're in. And then afterwards, well, then it just gets even wilder. But yeah.
That's impressive,
so
man.
Do you guys get, because I'm kind of going back on my 20 some odd years of doing this, and do you guys get like a stigma as that band that's hammered all the time, and do people look at that as a badass thing or kind of a not so badass thing? Because me growing up, I grew up on that same kind of music, New York Dolls, GNR Crew, and we've all heard the stories and all that, and growing up, that was my dream. That's what I wanted to do, and I did it, not as on such big stage as them, but people were like, dude, you're just hammered all the time, and they kind of like.
We think you have a problem.
They kind of, a lot of people here kind of like look down on that. Is that kind of a stigma with you guys that people are like, hey, watch it? You're kind of burning the candle here, or is it kind of more of the
I want to be like that?
That people are kind of looking at you and be like, man, these guys are living the fucking dream right now.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You'd have to ask other bands and shit to play with, but I think. A lot of bands do respect us, and that because we are the real deal, like they realize that when they hang out with us and stuff. And like Stacy, the bass guitarist, he's like this lovable rogue, and everybody loves him. And Dan, Dan Shock's the drummer, he gets on with everybody, and Laggy as well, the guitarist. We're all kind of like, like the lovable rogues, I guess. And I think a lot of bands do like the fact that we are like that. We're not just like full of shit and they turn up at a gig and we're just sitting around drinking tea and eating cupcakes and stuff. But that's like we are the party band. We're normally the last people at the venue as well. Like there's oftentimes the venue, the bar owners have told us to get lost because there's no more booze, go home. But yeah, there are bands, and I know for a fact there are a lot of bands who hate us for being the way we are because I don't know, they think we're but they're the kind of wimpy bands that you don't want to know anyway. So
I don't like this.
We don't care. We just do what we do.
So when you go on your like next tour or whatever, like the band you're going out on the road with, you need to like stage a tea and like cupcakes scenario, and then proceed it with you guys just getting completely fucking lambasted drunk, just to fuck with them.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll lull them into a false sense of security. Like, oh, these guys aren't so bad. They're not the party animals. So tear them a new one. They'll go crying to their mama.
So looking at, your band, from Australia, you're pretty much, you're literally on your own island. You're out in the middle of the ocean. You're pretty far away from America, Europe, and the whole bit. What's been the response that you've gotten from, Europe or America or all that? Is that kind of something that's kind of blowing you away a little bit? That wow, these asshats in the States are
these Yankees like us.
These damn Yankees are actually into this shit. And these guys over in Croatia are digging it too. Are you kind of starting to get kind of that feedback from around the world now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like the fan base is, our fan base is global. It's like Europe, South America, the US. It's like everywhere, like Japan and stuff like that. And we're growing all the time. And it's cool as to know that the people, out there digging this, we're just this dirty ass rock band from, Australia, but we're starting to make some waves. We just found out that the new album charted on the Italian album charts and that. So, it's really cool to know that. We've done we've got a whole bunch of US fans. We know that already, but that's grown as well, all the time. So, yeah, it's what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
We need that kind of big fan base to actually grow and, get places and that. But it's this year, since we put the new album out, when we put the first album out in 2019, it really grew there and it was cool. But the response to the new album, Black Candy, and the way the fan base is just really starting to gain momentum, now it's fucking amazing. It's it becomes like a snowball effect, it just keeps on getting momentum, and at the moment we're loving it. And we love the fact that there's a dude sitting in New York City listening to us, and there's somebody sitting in Rome listening to us, so it's all cool.
Would you guys like as a band or as a business rather, would you say there's anything that kind of sparked this notoriety, on a global scale? Is there anything that you particularly did that you think kind of maybe helped out with that, or was it just the old story of working and grinding and hoping things work out?
I think the thing, and it's something I mentioned before, is with us is that I feel that starting to spark with people is the fact that we are the real deal band, and we're one of the only kind of raw ass rock and roll bands in the world right now. And I can say that with pretty much confidence. There's not a lot of rock bands willing to talk about the subject matters that we're willing to talk about, use the kind of language we use in the songs. There's a fair bit of swearing in the songs, and it's not just for shock effects, because not all the songs have them in. It's just if the song suits it, and I feel the word is right, I'll use it. We're not, we don't shy away from anything. And I think now we're getting to a point where, people are really starting to recognize that. And I think people are hungry for that again. You know what I mean? People are sick of the whole political correct bullshit and freaking, all that kind of crap. They're hungry for a rock and roll band that's, what is willing to say it how it is. old school, back when, people were actually, shocked by rock. I'm not saying we're shocking because we're not, shockingly drunk maybe. But that's what I feel. I feel that, and that's what we get when we talk to people messages and stuff, and they go, man, I never knew a band like you existed anymore. Like, yeah, we're out there, man. It's, and that's, I feel is what's happening now, is it's starting to, a bit of word of mouth in the international community. We've been, plugging at it. We haven't changed, and then we had a fantastic debut album, and then we backed it up with an even better second album, which is no mean feat either. And we did that with a pretty much half a new lineup, so yeah.
So have you seen, since, you were talking about your band over in England, have you seen kind of a, I guess, resurgence of I guess the sleaze rock thing, because for years it was very taboo to kind of delve into that kind of music for any kind of musician, here in Michigan anyway, over in the States, it's hey, we love those bands, but it's not going to go far. So now we're just going to play like this extreme death metal and all that. Are you starting to see kind of more acceptance for hard rock and bands like you, as opposed to 10 years ago?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think like the scene, especially like in Europe and the UK, really is exploding, and not just like sleaze bands, but like that. They've got a movement in the UK called the New Wave of Classic Rock. So it's like any band that's got a like 70s or 80s influence in them, they kind of lump it into that, and they're doing amazing of that. Like those bands are charting on their national charts, and so I think rock is definitely getting a resurgence across Europe, especially and the UK, and it's at the end of the day, it's only if you know about it, isn't it? If the media pushed it a bit more, if we got a bit more mainstream coverage, then like these kind of bands, like us and other bands would fly, because people do want to listen to that kind of music. They just don't know it's still around.
Right. And so another thing I wanted to ask, you were talking about how, you're getting fans from Rome, the States, and the UK. Have you guys talked about, crossing the pond and coming to America, or going over to Europe and seeing how the band kind of flies there, or are what's the plan for all that?
Okay, yeah. So we've done 2 UK tours already over the last couple of years, and we actually played in the States about 4 years ago. We just one show at the Whiskey A Go Go, and we played in Mexico as well at the same time. But yeah, so like now we're at a level where we're planning bigger tours. So we have a major European tour booked from the end of January. We're playing a big metal festival in Norway. It's called Winter Metal Fest. And then we're doing a Scandinavian European tour off the back of that. And then we're currently talking now about a US tour at some point next year. So we definitely want to get out to the US and do a proper tour, because I feel, it's the only way to grow your fan base properly, you know what I mean? Because that's when seeing something on the internet and watching videos is one thing, but actually seeing a band live and connecting with people. And, we love hanging out with people. We love meeting people and stuff like that, and building that connection, that fan base. So, all of that stuff is on the cards. It's, just waiting to see about the COVID situation. But our European tour is booked and ready to go.
As soon as you said the United States, Ricky's eyes got real wide. Yeah. I know Ricky's gonna want to hang out with you guys and put his endurance to the test.
I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle it anymore, man. I can still knock back about 12 or 13 Jack and Cokes, but I have a feeling these guys would be like, "Fuck that Jack Daniels shit. Let's just go straight from the bottle, bro."
What's mixer? I only drink Jack straight.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Ricky's idol.
I know. So, you're coming over to this, you're doing this European thing. What's it take, because I imagine it's got to cost a small fortune, for you guys to, go all the way across, to the other side of the world, to do, Scandinavian tours and all this, how does a band, because a lot of bands, they're like, dude, I can barely afford to drive 3 hours to go do a show, let alone you guys. Hey, we're going to travel 18 hours on an airplane and we're going to go to Scandinavia and we're going to fucking wreck shit,
and drink the whole bar empty.
And drink the bar empty and all this. How does, how do you guys, manage that, I guess money wise, how do you guys afford that as a band?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we do generate a fair bit of money as a band, but definitely not enough to cover like kind of touring expense. We pay for everything out of our own pockets equally, and that's the way we operate. And we look at it like this: it's we're in it for the long term. We're not just playing around. Like, we want to go as far as we can go as a band,
right?
And we're willing to put our money into it. You know what I mean? And like. For us, it's the important thing. So we'll run a loss now because we're playing a long game. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just going to go, okay, we're going to just quit now. 6 years, we haven't done this. But yeah, everything, as long as it's growing, and it is growing and gaining momentum, we just keep on doing it. Yeah, we've sunk, I don't know how much money, probably close to around about 40, 50 Australian dollars into the band already. But yeah, we just keep on doing.
So I like asking.
It's what we do, you know what I mean?
I like asking bands this, mostly bands that, you see their music video and it's like, these guys are partying, singing about bags of blow and shit like that, and I'm always curious, and you're like, we sink all this money into it. What is JR doing when he's not, drinking bars out, and singing about bags of blow and sketchy women? Are you the,
he's the pimp drug dealer.
are you like changing toner at like an office or something like that? Or, you a waiter at Applebee's? What's JR doing when he's not
being a rock star?
Being a rock star.
Yeah. I mean, reality is we all got to have a day job at this stage. I run a big business for a corporation.
Wow.
That way.
So you come home off the road just fucking sloshed, and you walk into like a corporate office,
a board
like,
meeting.
Hello, mate. Like, I'm
right,
sorry.
so this is what I'm
That's
picturing.
got to be the funniest shit ever.
This is what I'm picturing. Okay. You guys are, doing your run in Australia or whatever like that. You're partying like crazy. And then you come home from tour. All right, got to go back to work on Monday. I have a board meeting with the shareholders. Am I kind of close?
Yeah, kind of. It's not that high flying. It's pretty important job, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But people know me. Like, I mean, I've got long hair and tattoos. And I don't hide the stuff. So
do the people
who work with me know me for a while.
Do the people at the office? Do the people at the office, know your music? Or is that something you kind of keep on the back burner?
No. Well, it's not something that you kind of advertise and walk around and go, "Hey, fuckers!" Listen to this.
Wow.
Yeah, but they know. They've seen all the videos and stuff, and they find it amusing, I guess.
Have you gotten any flack?
You get to work with a rock star.
Have you gotten any flack at all? Because I could imagine, if my boss saw me in a band and it was talking about, blow and fucking hookers and shit, they'd be like, this isn't really, promoting our company in the best light.
No, they don't. No, they don't give a rat's ass, basically.
That's pretty cool.
Mainly because on social media, obviously it's my stage name, which is just an abbreviation of my real name anyway. So
gotcha.
It's not like a fake name. So I purposely made sure all my social media and stuff is kept separate from that. That's why if people like who are friends on Facebook or follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I never talk about work or anything. It's always about the band and that, because that's my lifestyle.
Right.
Work's just something to make money. That's all.
There you go. That's smart.
All right. So, okay, we talked about work. We talked about touring, and we talked about the band growing and getting bigger, and we've talked a lot about partying, and I kind of wish I was you guys. And, so moving forward, through, I guess the immediate future at this point, what do you guys got going on? Are you guys writing? Or are you guys just going to pump this record for a little bit and kind of just play that? What's the game plan for you guys?
Yeah. So So the Black Candy came out on the 30th of March. So our plan is really to tour this for probably 2 years. And we'll be dropping like videos every couple of months and singles to keep the, interest in it going. And then we'll probably start writing the new album, the third album next year. We might start this year, but the object will be to record it towards the end of next year and then release it the year after that. So, we kind of want to have that kind of activity like the old school bands had, where they're dropping a record like every 2 years or so, like not 5 or 6 years. Yeah. So definitely that's a plan. We've got a new, we're dropping a new single probably in the next 2 weeks. We're just waiting for the final edit on the video to come back and that. But yeah, I'll send you guys that one as well.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we covered a lot. We're coming up at 9 o'clock here in Michigan, probably 11 a.m. out there in Brisbane. What haven't we covered yet that you want to get out there to people that are listening now or might stumble across it on YouTube at some point? What do you want to throw out there?
Just check us out, man. Like, follow, if you're on social media, which pretty much everybody is on YouTube, any of that crap, follow us, give us a like or whatever, a comment. And just check us out, because, it's real rock and roll, and we want to grow and get, bring this kind of music back, not all the way. We're not stupid. We're not going to think that we're going to be, Billboard charts #1 album, but there's enough people out there for it to get some momentum and like get the scene moving again, man. Get rid of all the boring, crappy music, and let's get some excitement back in rock and roll.
Hell yeah.
There it is. Kevin, you got anything to add?
Shit. No, man, I'm in firm agreement with everything he said.
All right, Jay, we're gonna let you get back to work. I'm sure there's a board meeting or something happening,
or some blow that needs attending to.
Whatever happens on Mondays over there. So when you want to come back on, hit us up. We'll have you back on here again and catch up with you, man.
Cool. Yeah, cool, man. Thanks. Hey, thanks for having me. It was awesome chat, man. You guys are cool.
All right, man. We will talk to you soon.
Cool. Have a good one.
Take it
easy.
All right. That was a JAY R SLEAZE from Snake Bite
Ricky,
Whiskey.
I could just tell you're thinking, why did I not
move to Australia?
Where in life did I fail to not be in this band?
Because I don't live in Australia? Lisa Rosalino in the chat loves the accent. Yeah, he's kind of got that English Australian thing going on. I was going to try to do it, but I'm like, it'd probably be better if I didn't. So yeah, I'm gonna play a song. I don't have any other Snake Bite Whiskey on me. I played pretty much what I had. So what I'm gonna do though is play the new single that Casting Shadows is going to be doing a music video for at some point, hopefully. So we're going to play that, then we're going to come back, close out episode number 107, and get the hell out of here. I got to go to bed. I got work in the morning. No board meetings or anything like that. I'm just going to build doors. So not exciting. I feel like such a lame ass now. I will get into all this.
You got to develop an accent. That's the first thing.
Yeah, I never thought I'd interview a guy that had a deeper, more sexy voice than me. I mean, that guy. Whoa. All right, we'll be right back. This is Casting Shadows and what will soon be the third single off the album, This is Trust right here on episode number 107 of the Rikki ROXX Show, ROXX100.com.
You walked around on me, now was I just too blind to see the way you strayed? We're now supposed to be with me, you walked out over me, I can't stand the pain, yeah, you're to blame. Those words you said to me, you looked me dead in my face and played your game. Too bad for me, I put my trust in you, and you just threw me away. Now watch you take, you take away. You sucked the life from me, I gave you everything. How could you be? Could you be so cold? You meant so much to me. And now I feel so alone, but now I see how you can be. I see your true colors shining through. You've shown your true identity, my enemy. I hope you see what you've done, what you created in me. Now I'm coming undone. Trust. 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 Why do we go on fighting? Why does it end this way? Why do we keep on trying? Why am I so afraid? Why do we end up living life like this should never be? But I put my trust in you and you threw it all away. I feel a fire burning, I can't stop until it burns away. Burns away. I feel a fire burning, I won't stop until it burns away. Trust. 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 Just stay where you sucked the life from me. Look at the mess you made. I'd have to say I'm glad it ends this way. I just can't look at you. Now I'll never be the same. Trust. 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 Why do we go on fighting? Why does it end this way? Why do we keep on trying? Why am I so afraid? Why do we end up living life like this should never be? But I put my trust in you and you threw it all away. I feel a fire burning, I can't stop until it burns away. Burns away. I feel a fire burning, I won't stop until it burns away. Trust. Trust.
There it is. Trust by Casting Shadows. Let me get rid of this. So what'd you think, Kev? The interview, the whole bit. Let's wrap up episode 107.
That interview was great. I mean, like,
Was there a part of you at some point that was like, man, I wish I could party like a rock star?
I mean, I did when I was in college. Like, I basically did not all of that, but
be able to do it as like part of a band kind of thing.
yeah,
like,
no,
man.
I mean, there was a couple shows where Harlow drank the venue dry.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get where he's coming from, and it's fun. But the fact that like they're just like, yeah, fuck all, like we're just like fuck everybody, we're gonna do what we do.
Yeah.
It takes some balls, man.
It does take some balls. I remember when I used to have balls. No longer. So we're going to wrap up episode number 107. I want to go to bed. I'm super tired. I'm borderline hungover from yesterday. Didn't quite get my 13 Jack and Cokes in, but I think I had about 10 or so. And I wasn't completely hammered. No. You were there.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
I made it out for the first time in ages, according to Rikki ROXX.
Yeah, you'd never come out to shows or anything like that. This is like the second ROXX 100 show that you didn't
working
play.
10 p.m. to 7 a.m. makes going out to shows totally easy to do.
I think the whole time at ROXX 100, was the second show that you didn't play that you'd actually made it out to. And the last one was like the Halloween show, like 2 years ago.
Well, we can't count last year because that was apparently a wash. So it's really only been a year, bro.
But yeah. Lisa Rosalina in the chat says, Rock on, he sounds cute. He sounds cute to me.
I think the word you're looking for is sexy.
Sexy, yes. Okay. So yeah, next week on the show, we're going to be talking to somebody from the band Casting Shadows. Not the one you just heard. Not the one we talked to Jeff last week. Yes, there is another Casting Shadows, Plainville, Connecticut. We'll be talking to them. And I got to get back on the booking thing because I've been dragging ass forever because of the baby watch thing and practice.
Babygate.
No, I actually got to put that Babygate together.
Nice segue.
Yeah, and with the Casting Shadow shows coming up and
all the drama over there
and all that
camp
train wreck. Yeah, so it's a lot, and a lot of people were I was talking to a guy yesterday, like, dude, Ricky, I don't know how you do all this shit. You do Casting Shadows, you book these shows, you're going out on quote unquote tour with casting and promote everything and then still have time to be at home and then you work 40 hours a week. I'm like, yeah, it's not fucking easy. My wife fucking hates it. She's like, do you really have to keep booking these shows?
You see, I gave Josh
You're not
a lot
making
of kudos
any money overall, any of this.
when we were in Shudder. Like, I don't know how he managed, because he's got fucking 4 kids.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, ballet recital. And I'm like, bro, we booked this show like 3 months ago. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. And then like the fucking craziest thing is he would always be the first one there for fucking like load-in. And you know what I mean? Like he made so many sacrifices and like I get it.
It's a lot.
It's fucking tough.
And it does weigh down. I was talking to my buddy Dan and at the show and he's like, dude, I don't know how you do this shit. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be doing so much of these shows because I'm like, my wife's like, hey, I'd like for you to actually be home some of these weekends.
Be a husband and a father.
Yeah, I'd like to actually.
Your kid's gonna think the refrigerator is his dad.
So I'm like, okay, I won't book as many shows. The Casting Shadows thing is the Casting Shadows thing, and that's the priority, I guess, as far as like live shows and shit like that. But with the baby watch and all that, I'll admit I've neglected ROXX 100 a little bit. With the changeover to YouTube and that stress and everything I still got to figure out, it is a lot. I will get caught up with everything. I'll start putting music back on. Once I'm not working anymore, I just got to wait for Nikki to pop and blow this damn kid out. And then I won't be out. I'll be off work for about a month or so. So
plenty of time.
I'll have more time.
Lots of Jack. Baby duty,
dude. I haven't touched my Jack Daniels in like 2 months.
Your bottle's probably getting mad at
It's
you.
lonely.
Your ROXX glass is like, hey,
hi,
no
I'm
clink
here.
clink.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I haven't touched, because usually I'd have my Jack and Coke and shit, and haven't drank my Jack. I know JR would be very disappointed in me, but yeah,
I haven't. Rikki ROXX.
I don't know about new. I just kind of wait till the weekend. I wait till I'm out at shows to drink like a fish.
You wait till the day ends in day, right?
Yeah. And it's like yesterday I got home and I'm like, well, we ate the tacos and shit, Dos Locos tacos, Hamtramck.
Some money. So I'm half tempted to drive down there right now. Dude, it's so, even reheated, bomb.
Yeah.
Like, you can't reheat no bullshit like Taco Bell.
Right.
Like, you can, but it's
not good.
No.
Like, it's even worse than it was when it was quote unquote fresh.
There's another place in Royal Oak. It's called like El Cantados or Cantados or something.
Yeah.
They've got like, I call them like designer tacos.
No.
Because they have all sorts of weird fancy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so fucking good.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I got home, we ate the tacos, and I'm like, Nikki's like, oh, you coming to bed? I'm like, no, I figured I'd go downstairs. I was going to
do the Rikki ROXX.
I was going to relive the dream for a night. And I'm like, I'll probably have a couple drinks. And then she started talking. I'm like, fuck, now I'm tired. Now I want to go to bed, So I went to bed, woke up. I'm like, man, I'm sober. What the fuck, yo? So.
You're learning at the ripe old age of 45.
Not that old. No, I think Nikki's just kind of gotten smart as to how
she knows how
not get
she
me
knows
down
your
here.
kryptonite.
Yeah, she's
Let's talk.
I know, and it's like I can't be like, no, fuck you, because it's like you can't say, hey, fuck you to a pregnant chick.
No,
that's not good.
Wise.
That's not good. There's
those hormones.
Yeah, something.
Lots of power.
There's a lot more weight behind those slaps now.
I wasn't gonna bring up the whole weight thing. And that's why I said the power.
But there's a lot more
power.
There's a lot more behind those hits.
It's not a
now.
V6 anymore. It's a V8. Probably supercharged.
And she's blown out diesel now. So yeah. So it's like I'm like, fucking, I'm tired now. So she's like, okay, let's go to bed. Stop talking. I'm like, thank God. That woman can talk. And I do fucking radio. And I'm like, geez, Nikki, you've been talking to me for 3 hours. All I wanted to do was get drunk and watch YouTube.
The American dream.
So, yeah, as far as casting shadows, if you're into that, we just played Trust. July 2nd, be at Diesel, opening for Faster Pussycat and Enough's Enough, talking about throwback bands with JR. Gonna be doing that. And then end of July, this is why I'm not going back to work until August, because the tour... July 22nd, we're playing at the Sand Trap in North Royalton, Ohio. July 23rd, Carl's Tavern, New Haven, Indiana. July 24th, 21st in Germantown and Louisville, Kentucky. And then we're coming back. I don't know if you really count that as a tour. It's a long weekend. But
It's a weekend warrior.
Yeah, so...
I miss doing those.
Yeah, well, one day.
Foreshadowing.
Don't go there. Then I'm back on the hosting tip on August 13th at Diesel for Jungle Rod to Convalescence, Filth, Dead Nerves, Casket Robbery, Blood of Angels, From Blue to Gray is Silence, Arkham, Fate of Misery over at Diesel. Then my last show for the foreseeable future at the New Dodge Lounge, August 14th, Screw the Hormones and Walk and Talk and Toxins. That's actually Nikki's birthday. So I'm like, I'll take you out for tacos if you just come to the show. So she's like, okay.
Such a great husband.
I know. And then back on the Casting Shadows tip, either August 21st or 22nd, we're going to be playing Harley Fest in Farmington Hills. Still waiting on confirmation on that one. And then if you are on the west side of the state, September 4th, at the Music Factory in Battle Creek, we're opening for Crash Karma. It'd be nice to get back to the Music Factory. Been a long time. And then, I didn't update this one yet, but September 12th, the big one. Blue Ridge Rock Fest. We're going to be playing on Sunday. I didn't update it because I'm not pro like that on who we're playing with that day. So I'm going to see if I can feverishly.
That fucking show has a sick lineup. I mean, there's a lot of really good bands, just like from all big, huge bands to like mid-level.
To nobodies. Crazy. And, and they got a lot of, they're showing a lot of local love on this one, having a lot of...
Gotta pay those big bands.
Yeah. So we're playing on Sunday with Shinedown, Papa Roach, Gojira, Mastodon, Killswitch Engage, Under Oath, Pop Evil, The Who, Rev Run, Ice Nine Kills, August Burns, Red, Aaron Jones. I guess he's a new rock icon now. I've heard one of his songs once. Pretty good. We Came as Romans.
Any relation to Mike Jones?
I doubt it.
Who? Oh, We Came as Romans is playing?
Yeah, We Came as Romans. Drowning Pool, Fit for a King, Il Nino, Adelia's Way, Currents, Fame on Fire, and that's just the day we play. Other bands on that bill are Breaking Benjamin, A Day to Remember, Hailstorm, Skillet, Black Label, POD, Tech 9, Hate Breed, Rob Zombie, Limp Bizkit, Rise Against, I Prevail, Chevelle, Anthrax, Asking Alexandria, Clutch, Treyu, Seven Dust, Nonpoint.
Pretty much every relevant band.
Five Finger Death Punch, Megadeth, Lamb of God, Seether, Theory of a Dead Man, Trivium, Body Count, Wage War, Avatar, In Flames, All That Remains, Escape the Fate, and the list goes on. And there's
Ricky could spend the next hour going over.
Yeah, and I believe they are all out of the ticket packages, but I believe they're about to announce the single day general admission tickets. Last I saw it was 65% sold out. The VIPs are all sold out. So head on over, check out Blue Ridge Rock Festival if you want to make a nice road trip down to Virginia. I know casting has about a dozen people shooting down there for that one, so it's going to be super cool.
Hell yeah.
And then probably another couple shows at some point. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm just a bass player.
Big deal, Rikki ROXX over here.
I'm kind of a big deal. So
Gotta step your drinking game up, though.
Dude,
Mr. Sleazy would not approve.
Dude, that I was talking to Jeff. I'm like, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to handle 4 days at Blue Ridge with all these fucking bands. You know, I'm gonna be drinking like crazy. Luckily, on Sunday we're playing like kind of early, so it's like it's
11 a.m.
No, it's like 2:30 or something like that. You know, so we're a couple hours into the last day, and I'm like, because it's like, fuck. Friday, I'm really looking forward to Rob Zombie and Limp Bizkit. And it's like Saturday, okay, there's not too much that I'm super stoked for.
We're gonna start slipping you Bush NAs. Dude, check out this IPA, bro. It was only like $18.
Lisa Rosalino, congratulations. Yes, it is a boy. I'm having a boy. It's a boy. It's a boy. You're thinking about, I threw out the name Thor.
God, you should just call it Hellboy.
The god of fucking thunder. I'm like, Thor, we got to put on the list.
Hellboy ROXX.
Like, Nikki was
That's
like...
a great stage name, Hellboy ROXX.
Well, it's like I threw the name Thor out there, and Nikki would just be like, fuck that, that's stupid. She's like, oh, that's different. I'm like, yeah, nobody's going to bully Thor.
Or Loki.
That guy's kind of a sleazeball, though. Loki's kind of a shithead, though.
Fitting.
Okay.
Takes after his dad.
Okay. All right. So we're going to close this thing out with some Without End. This is actually a song I was singing yesterday, Creature of Habit.
Yep.
Awesome track. And they're going to be going out on tour and doing some awesome things. So that's what's up. Make sure you share this video and the YouTube channel on your social medias. We are trying to get to 100 subscribers.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Smash that fucking subscribe button.
I'm playing it. Can't hear it. I'll do it again.
That's all I hear in my head.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Lisa Rosalino says Thorox. It sounds like Clorox.
So middle school's gonna suck for a little bit, but then when he's in college, he's gonna be cool man on campus.
I don't know about college, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So that's what's up. Share the YouTube channel and share the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, so you don't miss the next episode, next Sunday from 7 to 9, like I said, we're gonna be talking to somebody from Casting Shadows out of Plainfield, Connecticut. And like I said, Without End, Creature of Habit. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you next week for episode number 108 of the Rikki ROXX Show right here on Rocks100.com.
Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. It's Rikki Roxx, coming out of the box. Bitches come in flocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Rikki Roxx Show, spreading like the pox. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks, yeah. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks, yeah.
Rikki rocks up in your grill, motherfucker.
Hey, this is Rikki Roxx, and you are listening to Rocks100.com.